Speak fluent English but still get a low TOEFL score? Not because your English is weak, but because the new TOEFL 2026 doesn't reward what you think it does. In this video, we'll break down the speaking section task by task. What does this task evaluate? Why students lose points? And an easy, high-scoring structure that you could implement immediately. What is the new speaking is not about. Before strategy, let's clarify, because many students are still preparing for the old format. The new speaking is no longer includes tasks like integrated speaking. You don't summarize conversations anymore. No long monologues. You are not speaking about an academic topic for a whole minute. The section is shorter, more controlled. But shorter doesn't mean easy. It means every second counts. The new speaking includes only 2 tasks. The first task is listen and repeat. You hear 7 sentences and you have to repeat them exactly as you hear them. You think, just repeat. Yes, but it's not as easy as it seems. First of all, the sentences get progressively longer. So the first one includes for about 4 words, and it gets longer and longer. And the last one, the 7th, is normally for about 12 to 15 words, which is quite a challenge to remember. The main point of the task is to check how well could you provide clear, natural English speech patterns. It's not a vocabulary test. It's not a creativity test. It's not about sounding advanced. It tests context. Did you reproduce the sentence fully? Fluency, natural pace, minimal hesitation, pronunciation, clear and understandable, grammar and vocabulary, clear reproduction. So why students lose points? Some treat the task like a dictation without processing the meaning. Let me show you.
The meeting has been paused.
Not good, right? Too much hesitation. Now, let's listen to another one.
The meeting has been postponed next Monday.
One idea, but how different is the flow? And this is what TOEFL tests. The flow, not perfection. What to actually do? First, understand the core idea. Our brain processing the sense better than isolated words. Copy the music. When does the voice rise? And when it's lower? Follow the intonation. Natural speech is rhythmic. If the rhythm is stable, minor mistakes wouldn't destroy your score. At this point, many students realize, my pronunciation isn't the real issue. Often it's rhythm and processing under the strict time pressure. If you're not sure what ruins your score, structure, fluency, or delivery, I built a short quiz that shows where you're losing your points and what is your next step towards the high TOEFL score. The link in bio. The second task is interview. You would hear 4 sentences on familiar topics. Or maybe not that familiar, but usually they are related to lifestyle. You would have 45 seconds to answer each question. The flow goes as though you're having an interview. So there would be no preparation time. You can take a rest for the first 2 or 3 seconds to put your thoughts together and answer. But once you know the correct strategy, the template you could implement in literally any answer, it comes effortlessly. Can you organize your thoughts quickly? Could you stay coherent? And can you answer directly? It does not test academic complexity, sophisticated vocabulary, long arguments, where students lose points. They start speaking before deciding the main point. And they just swing between ideas, between examples. So make sure you have something solid in your mind. The test doesn't care about your real opinion, but you have to produce the clear point of view. And it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. So, for instance, the question might be, what is your favorite way to relax? And many start, well, there are many ways people can relax, but I think that too general, and there is no organization. What would be structured though? Let's read a high scoring sample. My favorite way to relax is walking in the evening. The main statement. It helps me clear my mind after work. The reason. For example, last week I walked for 30 minutes in the park nearby and felt much more focused afterwards. Example. Walking helps me to organize thoughts and remain productive during work hours. Short conclusion. Clear, logical, done. So, the go-to structure is the point, reason, example, and if you have time, a short conclusion. The new TOEFL speaking is not about performing. It's about control. Control the time, control the strategy, control your speech, and get a high score. If you want a structured practice, but struggle to find the right material with instant scoring, release. I know what to do.
In my TOEFL course, you can practice both speaking tasks and receive AI evaluation based on official TOEFL criteria.
So you don't guess your score. And again, TOEFL speaking is not about talent. It's about specific structures you have to follow. The test isn't about creativity. The test is about how well you follow the specific rules. I wish you confidence, not lack. See ya!